Attention gun owners. Starting May 2026, a court fight could erase carry permits fast. Last week, Harold, 72 from Denver, Colorado, got a scary call. A clerk warned his permit might lapse, and fines could hit $1,280. He stared at his safe, feeling punished for following every rule. If you carry for protection, this news can change your daily life. Before I explain what's happening, stop and think for 5 seconds. If you're not subscribed, you're gambling with your future rights and safety. I post fast updates when courts and agencies move without warning. Non-subscribers often hear it late, after rules already changed. Click subscribe now so you don't miss the next urgent update. For years, many states made you beg for permission to carry. You fill forms, pay fees, and wait while danger doesn't wait. Some places demand interviews, references, and classes you pay yourself. The process can cost $415, $860, or more before you even carry, and one small mistake can send you back to the start. Here's the core problem that hits you right in the wallet. America has a patchwork of carry rules that can trap you. You can be legal at breakfast and illegal by lunch, just driving. That's not about safety, it's about paperwork and confusion. And confusion is how good people become criminals by accident. Now, a major court case is challenging that permit system head-on. The argument is simple, and it's about your rights. If a right needs a license, then it's not treated like a right. The court is moving unusually fast, like they see real harm. When courts do that, it means your life is affected right now. What shocked many people is who stepped in with a new position. A federal agency filed a message that questioned harsh permit schemes. They focused on how costs and delays block regular working people. They pointed to uneven treatment where approvals look random or political. That matters, because judges often listen when federal lawyers speak. Another surprise is that some states are also tired of the mess. A few states basically said their own systems became too complex to manage. They admitted officers and citizens struggle with 50 different rulebooks. They want one clear standard, so travel doesn't become a legal minefield. When even rulemakers complain, you know the machine is broken. In the arguments, judges pushed both sides with blunt questions. They asked how permits stop criminals who ignore rules anyway. They asked why delays should block self-defense for months at a time. They asked why fees keep rising when the risk claim stays the same. Those questions matter because they show what judges find unfair. Supporters of permits tried to sell a fear-based story. They claimed removing permits would cause chaos, but offered thin proof. They leaned on what-if worries instead of real comparisons. Judges often want solid examples, not just scary predictions. When facts are weak, big claims usually fall apart. So what could this mean for you in plain English? If the court strikes permits, you may carry without that state-issued card. You'd still need to be legally allowed to own a firearm. You'd still follow rules about where carry is banned, but the permission slip, fees, and long waits could disappear. This doesn't mean anything goes, and you need to hear that clearly. Prohibited people would still be prohibited under existing law. Background checks at dealers would still screen many disqualifying records. Many sensitive places would still be restricted, and trespass rules still apply. A permit loss isn't a lawless world, it's a narrower change. It also doesn't cancel your responsibility to train and stay safe. If anything, it makes your responsibility even more personal. You can't blame a class requirement for what you never learned. You must learn safe storage, safe handling, and safe decision-making. Rights and responsibility always ride together, whether the state admits it or not. Now let's talk about timing, because timing is where people get hurt. When courts move fast, states may rush new rules overnight. Some lawmakers will accept the ruling and clean up their codes. Others may try to rebuild barriers using new names and new steps. So you need a plan that keeps you legal during transitions. Here's what frustrates me, and I think it'll frustrate you too. The rules often punish careful people and ignore reckless people. If you're honest, you worry about breaking rules you didn't even know existed. Meanwhile, criminals don't stand in line and don't pay a dime. That imbalance makes good citizens feel trapped and targeted. Quick pause. What state are you watching from right now? Drop your state name in the comments so I can track differences. Laws change by state, and your location shapes what applies to you. Your comment also helps this reach people who need it fast. Comment your state below, and I'll know how to guide you. Let me tell you about Patricia. She is 71 years old and lives in Seattle, Washington. She's a retired nurse who walks early before the sun comes up. One morning, she learned her renewal fee jumped to $320 unexpectedly. She felt cornered because skipping the permit meant risking charges. 2 days later, a letter arrived with confusing instructions and a short deadline. She read it twice, then called the listed number, shaking. The worker told her processing could take 10 to 14 weeks. Patricia thought about walking unprotected during that wait and got scared. She tried to book the required class and found it cost $287. Then the problem got worse in a way she never expected. The next available class was across town, during her grandchild's visit. The instructor also required extra range time, adding another $165 in ammo and lane fees. When she asked for an exception, she was told, "Policy is policy." Patricia felt angry because the rules ignored real life. Patricia finally found a safer path that kept her on solid ground. She joined a local club that offered training scholarships for seniors. She completed the course, filed early, and kept copies of everything. She also used a simple travel checklist to avoid restricted locations. In the end, she avoided a possible $1,240 mess and stayed protected. Her lesson is important for you, even if permits vanish tomorrow. Don't wait for perfect clarity before you act carefully. Paperwork mistakes are easy when you're stressed and rushed. You need a calm system that makes legality simple, and you deserve rules you can actually understand. Let me tell you about Thomas. He's 74 years old and lives in Charlotte, North Carolina. He drives part-time for a hardware store to stay active. He also visits his brother in another state every few months. On one trip, he realized his permit didn't match the other state's rules. It started at a gas station when he saw a no firearms sign. Thomas wasn't sure if the sign carried force of law there. He searched online and found two different answers, both sounding confident. His stomach sank because not knowing isn't a defense later. He called a local office and waited on hold for 41 minutes. Then a clerk told him something that made him feel set up. They said his permit was valid, but only if he avoided a long list of places. The list included areas he'd never think about, like certain events and buildings. One wrong step could mean arrest, legal fees, and a loss of rights. Thomas pictured paying $6,150 for a lawyer just to explain a misunderstanding. Thomas decided to treat travel like a safety drill, not a guessing game. He printed the other states' carry rules from an official site. He saved the key phone numbers in his contacts for quick checks. He also planned routes that avoided common restricted zones. That planning kept him safe and kept him legal. Here's the big takeaway for you from Thomas's experience. Travel is where the patchwork system bites the hardest. It turns normal people into nervous people who second-guess everything. That stress is not public safety, it's bureaucratic fear. And that fear is exactly what this case is trying to stop. Real quick, if you're getting value from this, hit the like button. When you like the video, platforms show it to more viewers. That means more responsible people hear the rules before trouble happens. It takes 2 seconds, and it helps this reach the right audience. Tap like right now so this doesn't get buried. Let me tell you about Barbara. She's 69 years old and lives in Austin, Texas. She owns a small bakery and opens before dawn every day. After a nearby robbery, she decided to carry for protection. She budgeted for training, but the permit process surprised her with extra costs. At first, Barbara thought it was straightforward and manageable. She paid $129 for fingerprinting and $78 for photos and mailing. Then she learned her appointment was pushed back by 8 weeks. Her trainer warned her that delays are common during policy changes. Barbara felt fear because her schedule kept her alone in the dark. Then her situation got more tense when rumors started spreading. Customers told her the rules might change soon because of a big court decision. Some said permits would vanish, others said permits would get harder. Barbara felt angry because nobody had a clear answer. She didn't want to waste money, but she couldn't ignore risk. Barbara chose a balanced plan that protected her without chasing rumors. She completed training she wanted anyway, not training forced by paperwork. She filed what was required, but she didn't buy extra rush services. She also upgraded lighting and cameras, spending $413 on prevention. That combo gave her control instead of panic. Barbara's lesson is for you if you feel stuck between fear and confusion. You can prepare without feeding the fee machine unnecessarily. Focus on skills, safe habits, and legal clarity from official sources. Don't let rumors make your decisions for you. Your safety plan should stay solid, even if laws shift. Let me tell you about William. He's 76 years old and lives in Jacksonville, Florida. He's a veteran who values discipline and clear rules. He renewed his permit early every cycle, never missing a deadline. Then he got a notice claiming his address file didn't match another database. William tried to fix it the easy way, like you probably would. He visited an office, brought documents, and expected a quick correction. Instead, he was told to submit a new packet and pay again. The new packet included an extra form and a new processing time. He felt insulted, like the system was built to extract money. Then the stakes rose fast, and it became more than a nuisance. A worker hinted the mismatch could trigger a temporary suspension during review. That meant William might be illegal carrying while he thought he was legal. He imagined a traffic stop turning into a $3,170 disaster. The unfairness made him furious because he did everything right. William didn't explode, but he didn't roll over either. He requested the exact rule in writing and asked for a supervisor review. He kept a dated log of every call, including names and reference numbers. The office corrected the record and refunded $214 after pressure. He learned that calm documentation can beat sloppy bureaucracy. William's lesson can save you stress and money. When agencies make mistakes, your proof is your shield. You don't need to be rude to be firm and persistent. Keep copies, receipts, and screenshots like your freedom depends on it, because sometimes it honestly does. Here's what makes me angry, and you should hear it plainly. Systems often expand until they become a barrier instead of a tool. Fees rise, steps multiply, and nobody can explain why it helps. The burden lands on seniors, working families, and people with limited time. If a right only works for the wealthy, it's not equal. But there's hope, and it's real, even if outcomes aren't guaranteed. Courts have been narrowing how far governments can push barriers. More judges are asking for history, proof, and clear logic. That forces lawmakers to justify restrictions with more than slogans. And that shift can protect you if you stay informed. Still, you can't build your plan on predictions alone. You need a strategy that works under today's rules and tomorrow's rules. That means acting legally now while preparing for quick changes. It means you don't take shortcuts that create risk later. And it means you don't let frustration push you into mistakes. If you're thinking about training, make it practical and repeatable. Learn safe handling until it feels automatic under stress. Practice decision-making, not just accuracy, because judgment matters most. Understand local self-defense rules, especially duty to retreat and defense of others. Your goal is to avoid danger, not to chase conflict. Also learn the everyday gray areas that cause accidental violations. Know how your state treats signs at private businesses and events. Know transport rules for vehicles, parking lots, and posted properties. Know how alcohol rules work, even if you never drink. Most legal trouble starts with small misunderstandings, not bad intentions. Think of someone who needs this information today, not next week. Maybe it's your parent, your neighbor, or your church friend. Share this video with them right now before you forget. Text the link and tell them it's about permits and fast-changing rules. Don't wait until later, because later is when people get blindsided. Here's exactly what you need to do, and I'll keep it simple. I'm giving you 5 steps that reduce risk and confusion fast. Each step is small, but the payoff can be huge. You don't have to do everything today, so don't get overwhelmed. Start with step 1 this week and build from there. Step 1. Verify your current carry rules using your state's official government website. Don't trust screenshots, random posts, or my cousin said advice from strangers. Search your state plus firearms reciprocity and prohibited locations to find official pages. If you call, say, I want the current carry rules and restricted places list. Write the answer down with the date and the person's name. Do this within 7 days, because policies can shift without warning. Step 2. If you have a permit, check the expiration date and renewal window today. Put 2 reminders on your phone, one 60 days early, one 30 days early. Gather your documents now, so you're not scrambling under deadline pressure. When you contact the office, say, I'm renewing and I need confirmation my packet is complete. Ask for a reference number or receipt and save it in a folder. This can prevent a costly lapse that triggers fines around $1,500 or more. Step 3. Build a travel plan before you cross state lines with a firearm. Print or save the destination state's carry summary from an official site. Map your stops so you avoid common restricted places you might enter by habit. If you're unsure, choose the safer option, even if it's inconvenient. Tell yourself, my goal is to get home safe and legal, not prove a point. One smart detour can prevent a court date and $7,200 in damage. Do this planning the night before you travel, not in a parking lot. Step 4. Get training you choose, even if training stops being required. Pick a class that covers safe handling, storage, and real self-defense law basics. Ask the instructor if they cover conflict avoidance and post-incident behavior, not just shooting. If money is tight, look for clubs, ranges, or veteran groups with discounted programs. Tell them, I want safe carry skills and legal awareness, not just target practice. Training can keep you from making a panic mistake that costs everything. Book it within 30 days because confidence comes from repetition. Step 5. Start a simple paper trail system that protects you when agencies mess up. Make one folder for permits, receipts, emails, and confirmation numbers. Take photos of mailed packets before you send them, including tracking numbers. If an office gives a rule verbally, ask for it in writing or a link. When you call, log the date, time, name, and what they said. This calm record can save you thousands when disputes happen. Set it up this weekend because it takes less than 30 minutes. No matter how the court rules, you win by staying steady and informed. Don't let excitement make you careless, and don't let fear make you freeze. If permits fall, you still must follow location rules and prohibited person rules. If permits stay, you still can reduce costs through planning and early action. Either way, your best move is smart preparation, not emotional guessing. Let's review what we covered so it sticks in your mind. A fast-moving court case could reshape permit rules across the country. Federal voices in some states are questioning whether permits became unfair barriers. You learned why patchwork rules can trap you during travel and daily routines. You also learned what won't change, like prohibited places and basic eligibility rules. Millions of people could feel immediate effects if rules shift quickly. You now have information that can protect your freedom and your wallet. Here's the final punch I want you to remember tonight. Confusing systems don't just waste time, they create fear and hesitation. Hesitation is dangerous when you need clarity the most. The best protection is not a rumor, not a headline, and not a politician. It's your own plan, your own training, and your own documentation. When rules change fast, prepared people stay calm and stay legal. If this helped, here's what to do next, and please do it now. Subscribe so you catch the next update the moment it drops. Share this with someone who carries, travels, or is thinking about carrying. Comment your state below, because state differences matter more than people realize. I read comments, and I answer when I can with practical guidance. Your engagement helps this reach seniors and families before they get burned, and it helps honest people stay protected without stepping into traps. Important disclaimer: this video is educational only, not legal, financial, tax, or medical advice. Every situation differs, and laws vary by state, county, and even city rules. Consult licensed professionals like attorneys, certified instructors, or other qualified experts before acting. Don't make decisions based only on a video, even if it feels urgent. What works for one person may not work for you, so verify everything. Stay safe, stay calm, and stay responsible.